How did it feel like to grow up with a brother who was the favorite? I've been debating whether to share this, but it's been on my mind constantly. Growing up, I always thought family was supposed to be your safe haven. But for me, it was the opposite. My parents made it clear I wasn't a priority, and even now, 10 years later, they've come back into my life, not out of love, but out of greed. When I was 15, my parents sat me down for what they called a serious conversation. I thought maybe it was about my grades or something minor, but their expressions were heavier than I'd ever seen. My younger brother, Alex, who was 11 at the time, had been diagnosed with a medical condition that required constant care. They explained that they needed more space at home to accommodate his needs. My bedroom would become his therapy room, and my things would be either stored away or given to charity. I was stunned. I asked, "Where am I supposed to go?" That's when they told me I'd be moving in with my aunt, who lived about an hour away. They framed it as a temporary arrangement, saying, "We need to do what's best for Alex right now. You understand, don't you?" But it wasn't temporary. It became clear within weeks that I was no longer part of their plans. Living with my aunt was hard. She was kind, but she didn't have much. Her tiny apartment barely fit the two of us, and I felt like a burden. I had to switch schools, leave my friends, and start over in a new town where I knew no one. My parents called maybe once a month, but the conversations were always the same, updates about Alex. How his treatments were going, how hard things were for them. They never asked how I was doing. I tried to focus on school, partly to escape the crushing loneliness and partly because I wanted to prove to myself, and maybe to them, that I wasn't as disposable as they'd made me feel. Follow for part 2.